Sun, sea, sand and springtime. It has to be the Balearics, and we're back on Ibiza for another running festival and the 8th Santa Eulària Ibiza Marathon. The largest of the Balearics offers something for everyone, the sightseer and the thrill seeker. We all know about the bustling towns and the music scene, but the coastline here is perfect for those looking to fill their lungs with fresh air and the sea breeze and feast their eyes on what has to be about as close to paradise as you can get in Europe. Thousands will be doing that this weekend and at the same time knocking out their first marathon of the year. The elite are here and their running ability and the hoodies, the envy of the town. Well, they're expected to lead their capacity fields in their respective races. Francisco Larry is once again the race director here in Ibiza. And he says today we're expecting 15,000 visitors competing in the 3 different races, the marathon, the 22K and the 12K. And we've sold out every spot for each of these events. Even the best can't resist a little bit of retail therapy before the promotional photo shoots. Salvador Losa saying we've already run this event 7 times. We're really proud and satisfied with the way the organisation has grown. He says the goal was always to have a great running festival and promote Ibiza as a sports destination, but also to de-seasonalise the island. And there's no doubt that they're achieving that. Number 1 this year goes to former world record holder Dennis Kimoto. Danny Matteo is back again.
Yes, this is my first time here in Ibiza, and I hope tomorrow I will do my best.
For me, I thank God because he's coming to be here from yesterday. So I think tomorrow I run good.
It is my first time in Ibiza, and I am expecting good results tomorrow. We are hoping we break the course record.
So Samson Keyo setting his sights high. He's after the course record, 2:14:30 set by Eulària Kibet back in 2019.
Me suman muchas cosas, sobre todo mentalmente, emocionalmente. A mí me da mucha paz.
One of the runners saying that she gets so much out of this mentally, emotionally, finds it really de-stressing, enjoys it. So she's not after a podium finish. This gentleman has done it twice before. He says he's a local, he's the priest in Santa Eulària, so he really has to run and he has to put on a good show. And he says he'll worry about the podium next year.
I have already been in Ibiza for holiday, but it's my first marathon in Ibiza, and I'm very excited about that. And I wish you all the best to my wife first, and the other friends.
It's really beautiful. The sun, the weather. It's not too hot, not too cold. Perfect weather for a run.
And as a result, the international appeal is growing.
It's been on my list to visit for years, and I figure it's a beautiful part of the world to do a marathon. I'm a lover of trail and ultra marathons, so I've run very long distances, but up in the mountains. Okay. So tomorrow is going to be interesting to see if I can run fast on the roads.
We're staying, actually, it's my sister's sort of pre-wedding. She's getting married next Wednesday, so we're all staying in a villa together and doing a run. Why are we running? I don't know.
Well, we can do both. ¿Por qué no las dos?
So we're getting married near Denia on the mainland. The Ibiza trip landed really good timing, so we thought we should make the most of it, visit the island and do the sports. We like to play sports.
Like, looking forward to it, super pumped, and yeah, can't wait to cross the finish line actually. Yeah. It's all in your mind, right? Like mental strength, and I'm mentally ready, so I'm pumped, I'm ready to go.
What's noticeable is how many of the athletes have actually run here in Ibiza before. Auguste, one of the influencers, is going for the full set of results. having done the 12 and the 22 before.
Because you have 3 distances, I thought I have to try all of them, and the marathon is the ultimate experience. It makes you feel feelings you've never felt before. It's just amazing. So I thought I really want to try Ibiza Marathon. I came here 2 times already. If I come again, I have to do the full distance.
Oh, that's very good. It's not so sunny, but it's windy. It's good to have some wind to refresh me during the race. So I feel it very well. 20K, it's a bit hilly, but I'm not here for the time, for the pace. I'm here to enjoy, and I'm very confident for tomorrow.
Danny Matteo, former winner here, former Olympian, of course, from Tokyo back in 2021. He says his advice for the runners is to pay particular attention to hydration and, of course, salt intake. Really important that the food you ingest is easily digested and provides ample energy for race day. He says there's nothing worse than feeling bloated or having a really big energy slump on race day. So light shoes, light diet could be the secret to success here. And on to race day. It's a fairly normal morning in Ibiza with the race start at 3:30 in the afternoon. The atmosphere starts to build as the runners head to their chosen start lines. No doubt some of those doing the 12-kilometre were wishing they'd been bolder and gone for a longer distance, and there'll definitely be some marathon runners who wish they'd opted for the shorter distances.
We had a good preparation. The rain is over, so the atmosphere is good, so I think we're ready for it. A little bit nervous, but the hype is coming, so it will be great.
We love Ibiza.
Because we love Ibiza.
Yes.
Something different in Ibiza. I think it's going to be hard. It's quite hilly, but we're prepared. We're well prepared. Yeah. Put the training in.
Ever since my wife, we just come to Ibiza every year because we're drawn back to it every year. It's a lovely, amazing place.
We tried London, we couldn't get into London, so it's like, what's the next best place? Ibiza.
I like to have a run and then a party afterwards, so this is the best place for it. I think my mind's going to be focused on that first beer after the race. So what's going to happen is mind over body. Get to the finish line, get that beer.
We like the sea, we come from south part of France, and we are really lucky to be here with every runner, you know.
We're running for a friend, on behalf of a friend. Okay. Yeah, we're honoring his memory. So yeah, this is my first marathon, and he ran this 2 years ago. So really? Yeah, we're running for him. Yeah, we got a big bowl of paella coming after this, so we're excited for that.
So everyone here for different reasons. 2 men who are here to win. One is Dennis Kimetto, former world champion. He got that back in 2014, world record holder, I should say. 2:02.57, his best. And that's a fairly impressive time. First man to go under 2 hours and 3 minutes for a marathon. Samuel Keyo, 35-year-old Kenyan. Be interesting to see what he can do today. And he certainly set his sights high, going for the course record.
Para nosotros es muy importante cuidar al corredor.
This is Francisco Eulària saying our number one priority is to look after the runners. We really want them to have a completely unique experience here in Ibiza. And Carmen Ferrer saying it's a really good vibe in this feel and run event. And of course there is a competitive element, but overwhelmingly it's really about a huge group of enthusiastic people enjoying a good run. Well, Samson Keyo wearing number 2, certainly looking eager, setting the pace at the moment. That record he's after, 2:14.30. That is going some in Ibiza, which is generally uphill for the first half, downhill for the second half. For most, the priority is to finish number 1, 2, enjoy it, and 3, have a look at your time.
Yeah, the scenery is fantastic, but I mean, the first half is really hilly, and you have to dig deep.
but the second half is a little bit less undulating, so you get to really enjoy it. And everyone's super friendly and cheering you on, and oh, it's just fabulous. Everything about it is great.
Well, she's going for sub 3 hours. That's 4:20 per kilometre, so a pretty healthy pace. And as always, so much contrast. Some fully focused on just surviving the event. Others fully dressed up in fancy dress. Well, a timing car just ahead of the two favourites, breaking away pretty early on. And of the two, it is definitely KO who looks the healthier, and at just between 15 and 16k, already opening up a gap of 40 metres between himself and Kimetto. Fantastic crowds throughout the course. 107 just through the halfway stage. That record is going to be tough to match. It's going to have to be a really impressive negative split.
Ibiza Marathon
This is Antonella Cotone saying last year the Ibiza Marathon was one of the best events she did. First race she did outside of Italy. Beautifully stunning scenery and one of the best ever. Of course, it's quite hard with the ups and downs of a marathon, but the sea view finish is something very, very special. And she says the last section of the race is completely unique. Remember, there are 3 distances: marathon, 22k and 12k. The 22 is a really popular event, with the start being some 100 meters above the actual finish area. They start in Santa Gertrudis and end up in Santa Eulària, like all the events running today. The shortest event, the 12k, and the 12-kilometer loop.
Tenemos también la 12K, que es la distancia corta, que sale y llega en el mismo
saying,
paseo marítimo.
12 is obviously the shortest distance. It's very, very flat.
Todos los públicos que empiecen a correr.
And a perfect introduction to distance running.
Año a año ir pudiendo incrementar su distancia y sus retos.
Alex Roca is one of the stars here. High degree of cerebral palsy, and he'll be running with Jota there on his right-hand side, who is blind and deaf. Those two teaming up today. They will have a guide, but Roca has not been well this year, so he's just delighted to have made the start line of the 12-kilometer run.
Y es mi tercera vez en la Santa Eulalia Ibiza Marathon. Para mí, es muy importante poder correr los 12 kilómetros.
It's his third time running the Ibiza Marathon. It means a lot to run the 12k this year, as he's been in hospital for the last 3 months with complicated viral issues, and now he's here on one of his favourite islands with the best organisers and a large group of people who are going to accompany them around the course. And for him, this is what makes life worth living. He says it's so good to be able to do sports.
Poder vivir y poder hacer deporte en esta vida.
And one of many inspiring performances in Ibiza this year. But as well as the adults, there is always a kids' run, traditionally kicking the festival off. And 600 youngsters signed up for their race this year. And it takes place at the Santa Eulària Marina. All of them, without exception, wearing number 1. And Francisco Larry saying on the Saturday morning we always have this event. Really excited about the kids' CaixaBank run. Any kids from the island can enter, and those who've come to the islands with parents who are racing. It's a free event, and it includes all children of all abilities, and even the disabled athletes as well, from the Apnif charity. Creates a fantastic atmosphere to get things underway. The right values: inclusion, no barriers, no limits, all ages, and there are hundreds of runners and hundreds of families involved as well. The apnea event is the first away, 6 different age groups, and the distance is ranging from a 250-meter sprint all the way up to 1,500 meters. Alex Roca speaking through his translator, saying you cannot miss this. It's a really inspiring event, and just to see genuine examples of youngsters struggling to achieve their dreams. Well, back on the marathon, and Samson Keyo still pulling away. As with most Africans, he started his running career very young. He lives and trains between 2,000 and 3,000 meters, and highly motivated. Well, he will have known going through the halfway stage that the record was unlikely, and then his attention turns to beating the former world record holder, Dennis Kimetto. And Kimetto has to bear the minds of Alistair Brownlee, who said to Alex Yee in the Olympic triathlon, anything can happen. He's got to hope it may go wrong. Danny Matteo, he's raced here more than most. He says he thinks the best reflection of this race is the fact that so many people come back to do it again. For him, it's the 5th time. It's one race where you really don't have to worry about the time. The only thing that matters is that you enjoy your run. He says the start may be uphill, but the scenery more than makes up for that. And it's completely different to all the urban marathons that take place nowadays. Keyo approaching the last quarter of the run, almost 30k done. The nutrition and the hydration so important for all runners of all abilities, and he's keeping a fair lick out the front.
I love Ibiza at this time of the year. It's really relaxing and beautiful and premium. Everything just feels right. The route as well, it goes through the island, so you get to see a lot, and you get to run through different parts, like little paths through the forest and then also by the sea. The fact that it starts later in the day is really, really good for me, because I don't like running in the morning. So I like the sunset, I like the beach. I just feel extremely satisfied.
I think a lot of people will agree with running first thing in the morning, but there are those who perform best early on. I suspect Keyo can run at any time of the day. He's done the last 15 kilometers alone. It's pretty much a solo effort, and that certainly won't have helped his record bid. Jessica Maas opting for the 22-kilometer distance this year. Says it's always fantastic to run here. It's always special. Very different race, running through the forests and the orchards, and then, of course, we end up on the coast, which is really cool. She's having run last year. She knows exactly how tough it is and how to pace yourself, and she feels that could be a big advantage for her in the 22-kilometer race. Keyo approaching Escanares, and then he'll start to loop south towards Punta Arabi, and then of course back down to Santa Eulària for the finish, and the first sight of the sea since the start. It's flat and fast in the finish here in Ibiza. That is if you've got any energy left. This is the women's leader, Ruth Hawkins, a 2:56 runner. This is Adrian Guirado, who is actually a local, comes from Ibiza. He says it's a spectacular race. The atmosphere's been incredible, and the circuit absolutely packed with supporters all the way around, and as a local he feels that gives him an extra boost. Well, there hasn't been a lot of sunshine so far, but it should drop down below the cloud level just before the sun sets. The conditions are perfect. But in any race, the crowd support so important in the closing stages.
La verdad es que ha sido una experiencia muy bonita. Ya he corrido en otras ocasiones, pero te sientes muy arropado con la gente.
She's been to plenty of other events, but never really experienced an atmosphere like this one. And it pretty much goes from the start to the finish. Well, all the race timings really calculated, so the majority of runners finish as the sun sets. KO should be just ahead of that schedule, and he's still got fantastic running form. That Ingebrigtsen tilt with the shoulders just slightly in front of the hips. And it's a great sight to see him and his teammates training in Kenya. And for KO himself, there won't be any better sight than the finished banner. KO's going to be a long way off Elliot Kibet's time of 2:14.30, the course record, but it's still a fantastic run. 2:19.59, the winning time. Dennis Kimeto across the line to 28.51, and Nelson Fonseca of Portugal in third place. In the women's, Ruth Hawkins taking the win, 3:02.57 her time. And she's just ahead of Lotte Stevens of Belgium, with Amy Reynolds of Great Britain another minute and a half back in third place.
It was a great race. It's really hilly. I probably didn't quite anticipate for that. I was hoping to get sub 3, but I'm really happy to get the win. Everyone was super friendly and the scenery was fabulous. I'd love to come back and do it again. It was a great day.
Not long after, the 22-kilometre runners coming down towards the finish at Santa Eulària, and Eddie Garner of Great Britain taking a win in the 22K, 77.33 ahead of Manuel Vivazzi and Miguel Gonzalez of Spain. In the women's, Jessica Mas getting the win, 1:23.23 for 22K. Sonia Samper in second, Gabriela Bocco of France taking third place.
Ibiza es mágico. Y la verdad que el año
Jessica
pasado
Mas
vine por
saying
primera vez, nunca había
Ibiza
corrido
is
aquí.
magical.
Así
Last
que
year
me
was her
gustó
first year,
muchísimo, así que
and she'd never
volví a
run here
correr.
before,
Y
but
animo a la
enjoyed
gente
it
que
so
venga
much
a
she
correr
came
porque
back
es una
and
isla
persuaded
que,
one or
aparte
two
de
others to
correr,
come
pues
with her and
disfrutar con la
enjoy what
familia
the island
en este sitio tan
has to
mágico, tan
offer.
bonito, pues la verdad que os animo a que vengan a correr.
Well, there'll be many like her, and some opting for the 12, like Adrian Ferrer, who takes the win. 39.50 the winning time for the 12K. Alan Cherry of Norway in second, and Ferrani in third in the women's. Veronica Castro of Spain getting the win ahead of Francesca Baroncelli and Tran Nigea from Blackheath in UK. Well, another successful event in Ibiza, and many of the runners taking a week off to recover on the island. Why not? It's often so much more than an individual effort. Whole teams involved, and it's not just the athlete making the sacrifices. Alex Roca and Jota across the line together. What an experience for those two. This is Jota saying the race has been brilliant. I have to say that running with Alex has been like running with a superstar. He's enjoyed every single minute of it and made great connections with the fans and of course with Alex himself. It's been incredible.
Para mí, que sepas que ha sido un auténtico honor correr a tu lado.
Alex in return says, I want you to know it's been an absolute honor to run with you. When you experience so many things, you miss so many things that are important. And Jota was pointing out all sorts of things, of the smells of the trees and the plants on the way, that Alex certainly wouldn't have been aware of had he not had Jota for company. Alex Roca went on to say that it's not really about the kilometres covered, certainly not about the time, it's about the message that you leave behind, and he's left one huge inspiring message for everyone, and all the runners today have done the same. They will have had a positive influence over someone, whether it's family, friend, supporter, viewer, and hopefully some of them, some of you will be back in Ibiza next year. We'll see.